Life in America feels heavy right now. And I'm not really focusing on the financial side or political, but spiritually and emotionally. There is an exhaustion at the core of many people. So many are overwhelmed, overstimulated, emotionally tired, and quietly longing for a different way to live. Some feel as if they no longer fit into the pace, expectations, or the environment around them. It has become too much and too fast. I wonder if Americans are running towards something or away from something. So much of American life is built around movement to achieve more, buy more, improve more, optimize more, and become more. But beneath that movement, there's often anxiety and emptiness and loneliness. There's a fear of stillness, a fear of feeling insignificant, and sometimes a very basic fear of feeling. Sometimes I wonder if we are not running toward a better life at all. Sometimes I wonder if we are simply afraid to stop running. Welcome to the Wising Soul, a space for wisdom, growth, and transformation. The United States has just celebrated its 250th birthday, and it gave me great pause as an American. I wanted to review it in a different sort of way. What have we done well? What did we build? Have we learned? What have we avoided looking at? Have we outgrown a thought or a concept? And what now has to change? For the past several months, I have found myself reflecting on what I would call a soul review of the United States. Not only where we have been, but what we may be asked of over the next 30 to 50 years. And I will do a separate soul forecast on that. We know America is considered a young nation. That is simply history. It's a fact. But from a soul perspective, I sometimes wonder if it also carries a young, energetic identity. Youthfulness brings courage and innovation, and the willingness to try what has never been tried before. But being youthful also means moving quickly. It pushes, and it rarely pauses long enough to ask, at what cost? Can a nation learn to value wisdom as much as achievement? Can we balance ambition with reflection? Can we move from a constant doing to a conscious being? Could some people be here to help a younger nation mature, not through power, but through wisdom? Could these souls help, not by controlling others, not by shouting louder, but simply by living differently? Yet, the first thing I wanted to look at was why so many people feel exhausted in the United States. The U.S. have trained people to constantly divide their energy and then wondered why so many of us have become depleted. For decades, we rewarded people for fragmenting their attention. Multitasking became a very valuable skill. We secured jobs because of it. The ability to constantly shift attention became something we admired. But the human nervous system was never designed to live under constant stimulation without consequence. Now, many people cannot fully rest, cannot sleep deeply, cannot focus, cannot be still, wake exhausted, and feel mentally on all the time. Many people no longer know how to turn themselves off at night because they were taught they should never fully power down. Being silent has become the challenge. The American programming is to do, not to be. We have confused movement with meaning, productivity with worth, and busyness with purpose. Stillness can almost feel uncomfortable now because many people have been conditioned to equate motion with value. If we stop moving, who are we? If we stop producing, do we still matter? At times, I look down at my desk and I have my laptop, my iPad, and my iPhone all being used to do something very important. Very, very important. Yes, I am being sarcastic. But in those moments, there were emails, notifications, news alerts, messages, updates, and deadlines. The nervous system began carrying too much input for too long. I think many people have normalized the level of stimulation that the human body was never designed to sustain. That is why silence itself becomes unfamiliar. Moments when we're sitting still and we become anxious because the mind has not been trained to expect silence. It has been trained to expect constant engagement. Then there is consumption. In the United States, somewhere along the way, more became better, bigger homes, more possessions, more choices, more subscriptions, more upgrades. We became incredibly good at accumulating. But everything we own quietly asks something of us. It asks for our time, our attention, maintenance, our money, and especially our energy. Even when that stuff is stuck away in a closet or in the basement, it still pulls our energy. I sometimes wonder if we filled our homes while quietly emptying ourselves. Perhaps what many people have been searching for was never another purchase. It was just peace. Then there's loneliness. We have never been more connected, yet many people have never felt more alone. We communicate constantly, but do we truly connect? Followers are not community. Contacts are not friendship. Many people carry enormous emotional weight without anyone really knowing. I don't think people are exhausted only because they work hard. I think many are exhausted because they are carrying life alone. And the soul was never meant to do that. Yet, I do feel something beautiful is happening. More people are questioning the pace, the pressure, whether success is really success if it costs us our health. People are choosing differently, slowly, very slowly. But we will get there, because exhaustion is not the end of our story. I believe it is the beginning of a wiser one in the United States. I believe the soul is inviting many of us away from constant achievement and back to conscious living, because ambition is wrong and because wisdom asks something different of us. At the beginning of this video reflection, I said there is an exhaustion at the core of many people, and it is not simply physical. It's emotional, mental, energetic, spiritual. But this exhaustion is not weakness. It's feedback. To consume less, to perform less, to reconnect with ourselves and with each other. So I leave you with the question we began with. Are Americans running towards something or away from something? Perhaps we have been running towards success, but quietly running away from ourselves. But I do believe the soul is finally saying enough. Enough. Return to me, because we will grow together. We are wising up together.